Hey everybody, Marcus C. Williams here. And let's talk about illegal aliens and illegal immigration and what's going on in our country right now with the president and what they're trying to do about these illegal aliens. So, let's jump right into it. First, we've got the president, Joe Biden, and his administration are crafting an executive order to try to put it so that people who house illegal aliens get a tax credit. Now, I know you're like, wow, but also they're working on crafting a bill to go through Congress so that they can put a tax break for people through Congress. But we know that most likely that won't happen, and that's why they're doing it as an executive order, which is completely unacceptable. Now, I just want to point out that you matter to me. As an American citizen, you matter to me. I can't talk about everybody else or anybody else or any of these politicians or whatever, but you as an American citizen, you matter to me. And I believe that American citizens should be the first priority of our government, especially since so many people are struggling. But let's keep going. Think about this. Right now, our taxpayer dollars are funding illegal aliens being here. They're funding their cell phones, they're funding their housing, they're funding their food. Okay, when we have homeless people outside on the street, many of them veterans, many of them mentally ill, who aren't able to get the type of assistance that they need because the programs don't exist or there's no institutions for them. Many people who are in America are food insecure or housing insecure because the costs and the inflation is just completely out of control. So that's something that we have to think about when we see our president prioritizing illegal aliens over the American people. That is seriously problematic to me, and I hope it is a reason for concern for you as well. If not, I'm going to keep going, and we're going to see how concerned you should start to get. So, the other day, I believe it was Boston, don't quote me on that one, but there's this lady and I think it's Boston because they've been calling in Massachusetts for people to take in illegal aliens and house them. Okay, so get this: this lady takes in this Haitian family, and she's like, this white lady takes in this Haitian family, and she's like, oh yeah, they're cooking and cleaning, and I don't even have to ask them to do it. It's like I've got my own personal chef. Blink, 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 hard blink. Okay, so what's the issue with that, right? That's basically like indentured servitude, is it not? Okay, or slavery, one might say. Okay. Like, this is very serious, and I've been saying this from the beginning. They are bringing in all these illegal aliens so that they will be a permanent underclass in American society. Not only are they going to be a permanent underclass in American society, they're going to use many of those people later on as mercenaries against the American people when they start to wake up and realize that what's really going on is way more serious and they've had enough. So when Americans start to stand up and they say, we're not going to take this anymore, they'll bring in the illegal aliens and they'll use them as a military force, as mercenaries, to subjugate and subdue the American populace. Right? And you'll say, oh, Marcus, that would never happen. Oh, really? But in LA, they just graduated their first class of non-citizens and illegal aliens for the police department. Get out of town, right? For the police department. People who are not even citizens, okay, are going to be on the police department enforcing the laws on American citizens. Somebody, please make that make sense to me. And they're trying to make them be able to be in the army and stuff too. And it's not just California. It's also Washington, the state. And it's also Colorado and Oregon. Okay, and I'm sure soon here in New York State, knock on wood, Lord bless, that we don't do that. But it's a very serious, real threat to the American people, and we need to start waking up. Okay? And it's crazy because I talk about LA and I talk about them graduating a non-citizen police force where they can't even legally own firearms, right? But they're going to be able to draw a firearm on you, an American citizen. Make that make sense to me. Make it make sense to me. Come on, please, somebody, somewhere, make that make sense. Explain it to me like I'm 5. It's not okay. It's not okay at all. They're not able to legally own a firearm, but they can draw a firearm on you and enforce the laws in our country on American citizens, of which they are not even American citizens. I'm telling you, I'm raising the warning flags right now. And our president, okay, Joe Biden, okay, is talking about that he's going to incentivize people to take illegal aliens into their homes and give them tax breaks when we're already paying for the illegal aliens in their housing. If the American taxpayer, you, me, everybody else, isn't being bent over and fleeced right now, I don't know what to tell you. We have people that are struggling right now. In my city, it's something like 1 in 4 school-age children, 25% to 32%, I think it is, of school-age children are homeless. I don't even know how that's possible. I don't know how that's possible. But it's ridiculous. I can't even, it's crazy. But where's the assistance for them? Where's the assistance for the people that are outside? You know? And staying on the topic of California and crazy stuff going on there, let's talk about the California Board of Elections for San Francisco. Okay? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how they just appointed, right? Not elected. Not she applied for the job and they gave it to her. Appointed means somebody placed her in this position. They appointed Kelly Wong, who is not an American citizen, who is from China, who's only been here since 2019, who is an advocate for non-citizens. Now you'll say, oh, well, Marcus, it's not that big a deal. Let me explain it to you and break it down to you real quick. A non-citizen is working at the Board of Elections in charge of very serious stuff. Like if you were to go cast a ballot, she is now in charge of all of that. All of that. Okay? Like not just the polling place, all of that. Okay? And she's not a citizen. Okay? And she's from China. Now, let me break it down to you about China. Okay? For those of you who aren't familiar. Okay, China's run by the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party hates America. The Chinese Communist Party has their own plans for world domination and subjugation in the fall of the United States of America. Okay, that is a fact. That is not fiction. That is not hyperbole. That is real. They used to have on their website their plans, their 2050 plans to take over the world. And it sounds like it's a joke or something like that, but it's not a joke. They're serious. They're working at it, and they're well within their plans. Okay, especially the 2035 bracket as far as their plans go to dominate the world's economy by controlling 2/3 of the world's manufacturing. They are very well on that way. Okay, and with their Belt and Road Initiative, they are very well on that way. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Belt and Road, we'll talk about that in another issue, in another episode, some other time, but I want to focus on the illegal alien situation and go back to this Kelly Wong working for the Board of Elections. Now, every Chinese person, okay, is obligated to spy for the Chinese government. They are obligated to spy for the Chinese government. I had to say it twice so you can hear me clearly. Okay? That's not, they might, maybe could. It's they are absolutely obligated to spy for the Chinese government. Now, let me tell you about this. She's been here since 2019. She advocates for non-citizens, specifically the Chinese. Okay? Make it make sense that she's not a CCP plant in America. Okay? You can't get out of China. Period. Like, it's very difficult to get out of China, especially since 2019. Okay? So, right around... I'll tell you why. So back when Trump was president, he did a crackdown on the Chinese spy network inside the United States, and they started shipping them all out, and they were running away because they were all in our biotech institutes and our chemical engineering labs and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, magically, a virus from China came to America, and we called it COVID-19, and it wreaked havoc on our whole society and the world as a whole, through the policies more so than the actual disease. But at the same time, though, that's just randomly happening at the same time that we're working on dismantling a Chinese spy network in the U.S. A virus from China is released across the world and in the U.S. You make that make sense to me. Okay? I'm not saying that there's a big conspiracy or anything there. I'm just saying, look at the timing. The timing is absolutely crazy. What is it? Do you believe in coincidences or happenstance? Like, what are legitimately the odds of that? It's got to be billions to one. Billions to one. Billions to one. Probably tens of billions. Maybe millions of billions to one. You know? So, but anyway, so she's coming over here since 2019, right? She's not a citizen. How is she even here? How is she even here still, yo? How does she have a visa that allows her to be here still, yo? Is she one of these illegal aliens that's here on an overstayed visa? Why is she still here, yo? How is she still here, yo? Like, for real. Are we being serious right now? Okay, and then you're going to put her in charge of the Board of Elections, which is processing you as a citizen. Your votes, which we already know that many Americans, whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever, all are very concerned about the efficacy of the election system that we have and its integrity. Because we know that there are shortfalls in it. We know that there are areas in which they can be, maneuvered, craftily even. And we know that those are issues, but we also know that the CCP is trying to take down our nation, our country. China wants to destroy America. So you're going to put somebody that's not an American citizen, that's loyal to China, in a position over the control of elections in California? In any state, in any city, this is reprehensible. In any county, that's absolutely insane. Staying on California, right? We got a lot of California today, don't we? Staying on California, do you know that they just pulled all the cameras from the San Diego port? Yeah. They got rid of all the cameras, surveillance cameras in the San Diego port. Okay, now let me tell you about the San Diego port. China smuggles a lot of goods, guns, drugs, okay, and humans through the port of San Diego. We know that to be a fact. Every couple years, they'll find and make it public, right? Like, because I'm sure it's happening all the time. They're not just talking about it all the time. And they'll find these giant shipping containers full of dead people, dead Chinese people, because they're shipping them in the shipping containers. We know this. This is not new news. This has been going on for some time. But now, all of a sudden, they're taking all the security cameras out of the port of San Diego. Somebody please make that make sense to me. Now, we know at the southern border, more and more Chinese military-age men and military-age men of all kinds are coming through there. But now, more Chinese more than ever. We've never seen this. There are no Chinese women coming through there. There are no Chinese babies coming through there. What's going on? What is going on? I'll tell you exactly what's going on. China is planting sleeper cells, okay, and military operatives and spies in our nation so that they can undermine our country from within. This is a tactic to set up the U.S. for a fall from within, because it's easier to destroy your enemy from within than from without. And we need to stand up against this because we know that it's happening. And people aren't talking about it. People aren't talking about it. And I can go on and on and on about how serious an issue China is and what they're doing, manipulating all of our different systems and hacking medical systems and hacking government intelligence agencies and all of this to back up what I'm talking about right now. But we really need to be paying attention. And one of the biggest factors that's impeding what's going on, what's the normal functionality of the U.S. right now, is illegal aliens. It is. We're funding them. Now the president wants to give tax breaks to people to house them. We already know we're spending billions of dollars every year to house, and we're spending almost $1 billion a month housing them right now that we know about, right? That's what we know about. That's not even what we don't know about. It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. And then we can go in and we can talk about the illegal aliens that are coming through the northern border where I'm in New York State, or Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, up in this area over here, that are all flooding through the border now more than ever, right? They're talking about last year alone, they had almost 20,000 something encounters, okay? And they apprehended over 15,000, or excuse me, almost 15,000. But those are only the ones that we know about. How many tens of thousands more don't we know about? You know, we've got tens of thousands of people coming through our northern border, flooding through our northern border, and nobody really talks about it. But we've got millions of people flooding through our southern border. And like I said, the vast majority of people who are coming here aren't coming here to become American citizens. They're not. They don't care about us. They don't care about our country. They have no desire to learn the language. They have no desire to assimilate. Okay? Soon we're going to end up like how they've got stuff going on in France. The riots of the people over there that they've got in France that have been imported over there, the aliens. We got the ones that are over in Ireland that are causing havoc and craziness. We got just yesterday, the Dutch, people from the Netherlands. And I don't know why they call the Netherlands Dutch, right? That doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, but the people from the Netherlands, okay, they were over there ransacking police stations and firebombing police cars. The aliens over there that they got. Okay? It's a serious problem. It's a serious problem. And we're not talking about it. But we need to be. This is the most serious thing impacting you, me, and everybody else that is a citizen of the United States of America. It's really, really serious. And we need to be talking about it. We need to be up in arms about it. And we need to make our government and our elected officials stop it. It needs to stop now. We've got them talking about, oh, well, we've got this border bill. The border bill will help. That was a lie, a whole lie. And if you read it, you'll see how terrible it is, because the border bill allowed illegal aliens to get on U.S. Customs and on the Border Patrol. Why would you let illegal aliens do those jobs? Make it make sense, okay? It's crazy. Plus, it didn't even do anything to stem the tide of the flow at the border or the crossings that are illegal. It only changed the number of visas that can be given to people who are coming in legally from other countries, not even the countries that are coming in, because they're visas for work visas. That to get a work visa for the United States, it's very, very complicated. So don't just think that they'd give a work visa to these people at the border, because they never would. You have to be highly technically skilled, and the company that will be hiring you, a company already has to hire you. They'll say that they're willing to hire you for you to get one of those visas. It's very, very difficult. Very difficult. And they have to prove that they can't hire somebody from the United States to do that job to get that visa. It's a thing. So none of it would have done anything to deal with anything at our actual border. It's crazy. But they could appoint people to different positions down there, illegal aliens, like we just saw happen in San Francisco at the Board of Elections, where they appointed this non-citizen, which I'm still out on whether she's here legally or not at all, which is very concerning to me, because her visa would have been expired quite some time ago. Okay, so this is a very serious problem. But talking about this really, how can I say it? It really lets me express to you the reasons of why you should be concerned about what's being done by our elected officials and how they're prioritizing illegal aliens over our veterans that are homeless on the street, or the people that are addicted to drugs. Let me tell you about the veterans, right? So the VA, okay, the people that deal with the Veterans Affairs, the VA, the people that process medical billing and medical records and stuff like that for the VA that are supposed to be for our veterans, for American veterans, that risked life and limb to serve our nation, many who have lost friends and family in engagements across the world, okay, in military engagements across the world, those people, the people that are supposed to help those people, they're doing the medical billing and the record processing for illegal aliens. You heard me right. The Veterans Affairs Department is doing medical billing and medical records for the illegal aliens. And now there are reports of actual American veterans getting wrong bills, getting issues with getting appointments and stuff because the records aren't being pushed through right and in the right place at the right time. All types of issues happening with our veterans because the Veterans Affairs Department is taking care of the illegal aliens. Somebody please make it make sense. It's a very, very serious problem. Our veterans should come first. They should be way prioritized over any illegal aliens. And it's called the Veterans Affairs. It's not called the Illegal Aliens Affairs. It's supposed to be for our military people. Are we being serious right now? It's reprehensible. And I'm putting it mildly. And this is why we have to stop this focus on allowing illegal aliens and giving them free stuff because they're getting accustomed to it and they're demanding it. They're demanding that we fund their life. Why should we fund their life? When inflation is skyrocketing. When you go to the store, you spend $50. You're lucky to have a loaf of bread, cheese, lunch meat, butter, and maybe some mustard if you're lucky. Maybe $50. It's insane right now what's going on. But every single penny that they're spending on illegal aliens increases inflation more. So they're taking food out of your mouth, out of your children's mouth. Okay? They're taking gas out of your gas tank. They're increasing your costs for electric and housing. All of that is coming from the American taxpayer. And we need to address these very serious issues. But far too many politicians, especially Democrat politicians, are prioritizing illegal aliens over American citizens. And that's not acceptable. American citizens need to be prioritized, okay? American citizens need to be put first, okay? You matter, okay? You matter to me. All of these crazy politicians, especially the Democrats that want to prioritize illegal aliens over you, that is unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable, okay? You deserve better. You really do. But to get better, one, we're going to have to make sure that we vote different and vote these people out of office that are voting for all these things for illegal aliens that are pushing this type of stuff. So if you're a Democrat, I encourage you, consider possibly voting Republican. Might be worth your while because it's very clear that the Democrats right now currently are not prioritizing American citizens. They're not. The Democrats do not care about American citizens. They care more about illegal aliens so that they can get their own indentured servants and their own personal slaves than they care about you as the American citizens, especially if you're black. I said exactly what I said. Quote that. Democrats care more about illegal aliens than they care about black people. Democrats care more about illegal aliens than they care about the struggling working class. Democrats care more about illegal aliens than they do people in poverty. I said all of that. Quote it. I said it. I mean it. Okay? That's what they're showing us through their policies. Policies matter. And the people that are passing them are doing a disservice to America. So think about that when you go out and vote. Okay? Think about that when you write a letter to your congressman, if you do write a letter to your congressman. Or when you engage with somebody at your city council, right? Because they're housing illegal aliens right here in my city where I live. It's a serious problem. It's a no-no. Okay? Our county is hosting these illegal aliens and taking money out of the county to give to them, and the city is giving them money out of the city's money to give to them. And they'll swear up and down that they're not giving any money to them, but it's a daggone lie. Because how are they here then? Because the state said the only money that's being given for illegal aliens is to New York City. And New York City isn't flipping a bill for anything up here, so where's the money coming from? It's got to be coming from us. It's a very serious problem. I see them get first priority for certain programs and stuff like that should be being used for American citizens that are struggling, that are housing insecure or food insecure. It's terrible. And it's got to be stopped. But the first way to stop it is to learn about who's in office and who's your elected officials. Who are your city council people? Who's your mayor? Who's your congressman? Who's your state senate person? Who's your state assembly person? Are they funding these people? Are they voting to fund these people? Okay, these illegal aliens. It's very important, and if more Americans don't get active and don't stand up and say we've had enough and we're not going to go for it anymore, we're not going to take it. Okay? Until you get mad and you say, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore, they're going to keep forcing it on us more and more every day until there's no way for us to stand up again. And that's another reason, again, why they have them, because they'll use them as a military force against us by the time people are ready to stand up. That's why you got to stand up now before later. We got to take action. So I'll leave you with that. You guys be blessed, be well, and remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. I'll catch you later.